Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. I have a Halloween treat for you guys. So I am using this Whimsy Stamps Feed Me stamp. Now I did make some edits. I separated the Little Shop of from Getting Old. That way I could do Little Shop of Horrors. And then I love Whimsy stamps so much, but just this guy getting eaten, I just knew I'd never use him. So I did a little stamp surgery on that guy. But I'm not even using any of those today. I am just using this one stamp from that stamp set. And then I'm using these two girls from the Oddball Stepsisters from Stamping Bella. If you guys are newer, you might not know, I kind of have a thing for Stamping Bella. I have like a little collection going on. I've been buying, not all, but a lot of the icons that they've been doing recently. Like I have Maya Angelou and Bob Marley and Amelia Earhart. Like, I just love them. And I love these girls. I have used them so many times. It's so handy to have some fancy, grumpy girls in your stash. You might be able to find these over at the Not Too Shabby shop. That's where I got mine. And then the Feed Me I actually got from Whimsy Stamps. So I saw Lauren Taylor and Debbie J crafting with the stamp set on Tuesday. I immediately ordered it from Whimsy Stamps and it got to me by Friday. This is the second order I've placed with them recently. I've been ordering from them for a while, but that's the second order I've placed this month. And they're just shipping so fast. It's amazing. Okay, let's talk about the card, shall we? So what I've done is I've taken a piece of watercolor paper and I've trimmed it down just shy of 5x7. I'm using my Stamparatus. Now this is by far my favorite stamping platform. I had a Misty, I had others, I gave them away. This is the only one for me. I love that it has removable plates like this. I could make multiple of these cards and keep the girls in the same spot. Here I'm just flipping the plates over. In fact, that's why I put them on the different plates, is because I was thinking I might make another one of these cards. So I just wanted them ready to go. But yeah, this Stamparatus is amazing if you do a lot of layering stamps or mass production of card making. You just can't go wrong. And now I am going to do the plant. So I think this is Audrey too, right? I'm not sure. I can't remember. So I love Little Shop of Horrors, but honestly, I was just always about those girls. That trio, the doo-wop girls, I thought they carried the movie. I loved them. And so I had to incorporate them into my card today. I did... I kind of made a boo-boo on this card from the beginning because I stamped the girls. I had no plans of doing heat embossing, but then I decided, I want to make this quick with my coloring. So I ended up heat embossing them, but I didn't use the embossing powder tool. And so there's a couple of places in my card, which I'll show y'all, where the embossing powder was kind of all over the place. With the plant, I already knew what was going down. I was going to be embossing, so I used my embossing platform. All right, I sped this whole section up for you today, and this is just me watercoloring my whole scene here. I was thinking I might use the gouache, but I stuck with watercolor today because it's the medium that I know best and that I love so much. Now, I'm falling in love with gouache like I play with it every day. Like I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning so that I can play with gouache. And you're definitely going to be seeing me use it more, but I actually made this card today on Halloween, and I did wake up. Well, I actually woke up at 3:30 this morning, which is just bananas. So today is going to be real interesting. I'm probably going to need a nap, but it's also my niece's birthday and it's Halloween. And when I'm done making this card, Carmen was in the room supervising from 6 on. Um, but yeah, uh, I've got to make my costume. So I'm going to be like a really brightly colored beetle, I think, this year. So I'm going to make like a shell out of cardboard from the front and the back of me, and we're going to paint it with acrylic paint, and I'm going to be a beetle. So that's going to be interesting. Um, Maybe I'm a bad mother. I don't know. My kids hate bugs. Like they think bugs are super scary. So I was like, oh, that's a good scary costume then. Being a bug. Okay, I think I'll be a bug. And at first, Carmen was like, how could you? No, mom. And then she's like, actually, that does sound cool. Can I help you make your costume? Sure. So I love making our costumes. I don't do it every year, but I've been TikTok the crocodile in the past because we all did Peter Pan together. And so I made that costume like the day of, just like this one. But it turned out phenomenal. I still have it hanging in the closet. So I was like, well, if the beetle doesn't work out, then I always have TikTok on backup. So I am just watercoloring everything, and this scene was super easy, really, honestly. I mean, it's like a brick wall, a dingy sidewalk, and the window. Now, at this point, Carmen is watching and providing input about my card design, and she thought that there needed to be more plants. So I sketched in a couple of extra little plants and started to get some color here because I knew I wanted to layer it up. And so I needed my base color in there and drying. And that's one of the things, like if you're working with watercolor, it's not all that mysterious. It's just all about layers, really. So go ahead, get your layers in. Go light at first. You build from light to dark. With gouache, you go any way you want. You can go light to dark, dark to light. That's what's so awesome about gouache. But with watercolor, you always, always, always go light to dark. So just put a light wash and you're off to the races. So with these girls, I did not mask. I was, again, trying to make a quick card. And so I didn't mask them off. So I made the girl in the middle, I made her skirt just a little darker to kind of cover up where the two of them meet. She and the girl on the right. So I really wasn't stressing about it as far as having this card just perfectly made. I just wanted to make it. It's kind of been in my head ever since I saw that stamp. I was like, oh, I've got to make a card. And then, yeah, I just woke up at 3 o'clock and was like, bing, I know what I want to do. Off to the craft room I went. All right, so now I'm going back and adding in all of my details. So you lay down your washes, and that way they can dry, and then you can easily go back and detail, detail, detail. So I'm going to write in the Mushniks Flower Shop, and I end up erasing that line that says Flower Shop completely after I put in my Mushniks, and I do adjust it off camera. I haven't done lettering in a while, and so I needed to make a few adjustments. I'm using a fountain pen here to add in some details and some lines. I didn't want too much, but I wanted a little. I kind of have mixed emotions about where I went with the brick, but again, I was just wanting to be kind of sketchy, almost like an urban art sketch kind of feel. And if I would have left it right there, I think I would have been fine. But then I keep adding and adding. And then what you don't see on camera is that I tried to add more with gouache. And yeah, anyways, it is what it is. So Details, details, details. I also used the fountain pen for the dots on the darker part of their dress. I brought in these Ink Onic Arteza fine liners. I love these things. I use them all the time in my card making. I'm so happy I have them. They're very, very useful to have some fine liners in different colors around. So now I am just putting in the sign. And, you know, I love that it's just handwritten like this because the sign in the movie, of course, you know, it's just painted on. And so it needs to have a very handmade look to it. All right, this is probably the most nerve-wracking part of the entire card is adding the window glare. I know that I have to add it over my plant to make it effective, but it's like, oh, but if I mess up, especially because I was using an acrylic gouache, which you cannot take up, it's permanent. And so I was like, ooh, but it worked out. I wish more of my angles. The thing about glare is like, I think all your angles need to be correct and at the same, you know, parallel angle. I didn't quite nail that, but I still like the way my card came together. And that's it, you guys. That's my card for today. If you didn't know, I'm doing cards based on music, movies, and other artists. This was definitely a part of that series. That's where my embossing powder kind of stuck in places I didn't want it. That's where I went off on gouache. And here's the star of the show. So much fun. And I love those two little dying plants by her. It's just fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you celebrate Halloween, have a good one. Catch you next time.